hottest show on the streets. We're talking your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Coach Saban and the players reported today for fall camp. First day of practice, first big Nick Saban press conference. That comes tomorrow. But the players reported today for fall camp. As always, we're bringing you the show from the Magic City of Birmingham. We stream this to you right here via YouTube. Speaking of a channel, you know what time it is. You tap that subscribe button right now. Hit that subscribe button right now. For all the diehard fans, casual fans, consumers of Bama football, tap that subscribe button. Make this your show, your network, your spot, your platform to be a part of nothing but Tide football. Share the show as well to every platform you know, to everybody that you know. Get everybody hooked on, locked in on the show. Be sure to give us that thumbs up, hit that like button, tap the like button right there. We love that, appreciate that. Trying to get the show 50 likes out the gate here to start it. Also, that daily super chat go $100 daily. Super chat go $100 right there. We missed this one on Monday. John Ivory accidentally missed this one, but we gotta show some love because she dropped some love in the bucket on Monday, and that's being Siobhan Pompey. Siobhan Pompey, that $9.99 in the super chats. Hey, we missed that one. But you know what? We got it today. Gotta show some love. Siobhan Pompey dropping in that $9.99 in the super chat. Appreciate that right there. But also, fans, we want you hitting that notification bell so you miss nothing when it comes down to your Crimson Tide football action. We have a lot in store for you tonight. We want you calling in. Your thoughts, your opinions, they absolutely matter. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358, the number to dial to let your voice be made known, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you. We got two awesome guests this evening. We'll first be joined by my man, Alex Barth, who covers the Patriots for 98.5, the Sports Hub out of Boston. Barth will be getting into some updates on Mac Jones. The reports coming out of training camp today was his best day of camp for the New England Patriots. That's huge there. We'll be joined by my man Justin Smith a little bit later on to talk some Bama football recruiting. How about Jay Sports Cards with that $1.99, dropping that in the bucket here on the show. Jay Sports Cards helping us out here on the eve of the first practice of fall camp. So, we begin the conversation off with this. I mentioned that today, Coach Saban and the Crimson Tide, the players, they reported to campus for the first day of fall practice, getting everything sort of acclimated, if you will. Tomorrow being the first actual practice, the first big-time press conference for head coach Nick Saban in his 17th year. But today, everybody reported to get started on the work. And what was cool today was also the annual Knicks Kids event. Coach Saban and his wife, Miss Terry, do an unbelievable job giving back to the city of Tuscaloosa, surrounding areas, and the state of Alabama as a whole with the Knicks Kids Foundation since 2007, of a Knicks Kids Foundation has given away $12 million. It's a lot of money right there, and especially when you look at Habitat for Humanity, building homes for different families, building homes for different charities, giving back for different charities, helping a lot of at-risk youth, and just so much that these two, Coach Saban and his wife, Miss Terry, have done a phenomenal job in being pillars in terms of giving back to this community and surrounding areas as well. So today was the big Knicks Kids event. You had a lot of players helping Coach Saban out with this, whether it was guys like Dallas Turner, Malachi Moore, Justin Aboigbe, Will Reichard, Chris Braswell, Christian Story, Darian Dalcourt, Seth McLaughlin. There was just several players were out there inside the North Zone at Bryant-Denny, signing autographs for the kids, taking pictures with the kids. Just a lot of good stuff happening inside the North Zone, Bryant-Denny, for the annual Knicks Kids event. But probably the biggest part of the event, Eli, yours truly, I was a part of. This is kind of funny. This is funny right here. So Coach Saban took about 6 questions from reporters at this event today. One of the 6 came from me. Everybody else was throwing him questions about Knicks kids, and that's good. It's fine. He loves to talk about his charity work, and why wouldn't he? I mean, when Coach Saban has done quite the amount of charity work. But, Eli, I took it upon myself to be a little bit different. I took it upon myself to take one for the team. I took it upon myself to ask the big question. So, my question as I was fighting my way through the crowd, my question to Coach Saban was, Coach, with this year's team, right, what is the biggest challenge in getting players to be focused on the discipline, the right way of playing, building that culture, establishing that sort of national championship culture in terms of this year's team? And Coach Saban promptly, in a joking manner, I don't think he was serious, but in a joking manner, Coach Saban looks at me and goes, does that have anything to do with Knicks kids? And I'm like, well, Coach Saban, it does not, but, and he was like, yeah, it has nothing to do with Knicks kids. And so the communications department was like, well, Coach Saban, we tried. Coach Saban kind of chuckled at them and laughed and went, I know we all try. But Saban did proceed to answer my question. The point being, I didn't get nothing thrown at me. The point being, the question was not a dumb question. It was geared toward the team. And he asked the question. He tried to have me a little scared, but I wasn't scared at all. I asked the question. Got the answer there. And the answer that I received, kind of the answer I was looking for. In terms of Saban mentioning, hey, this year's team, it's going to be more than just talent, right? Because talent can only get you so far. You're going to run up on a team that's probably just as talented as you are, if not more. That happened to Alabama just last year, where it ran up against quite a few teams that were just as talented as they are. I mean, you ran up on Texas. You were able to escape Texas by 1 point due to the great work of Bryce Young. You ran up on Texas A&M. Remember, Jimbo Fisher bought that 2022 recruiting class with nothing but NIL money. And you didn't have Bryce Young in that game. He was out due to a shoulder issue. You started Jalen Milroe that game, but Alabama able to get the 24-20 win. You ran up on a very talented Tennessee team, and lack of discipline, penalties, that caused a difficult 49-52 loss at the hands of Tennessee in Knoxville. You ran up on LSU in Death Valley and once again missed assignments, especially on defense. You took a 31-32 loss there at the hands of the Tigers. So Coach Saban mentioning, hey, it's going to take more than just talent. It's going to take effort, a lot of discipline, guys play in and play out having the right mindset. And Saban mentioned this, not having the anxiety that you had a season ago. You go back to the Tennessee game. Guys came out of a tunnel. They weren't chanting. They weren't chanting. They weren't talking smack. They weren't being loud. They were being quiet. Coach Saban was like, what in the world going on? What y'all doing? Y'all usually chanting. Y'all usually talking smack. Y'all usually having fun. Y'all look like y'all in a church choir. Y'all look like y'all ain't saying nothing. What the world going on here? And then we figured out the Monday following that matchup, the word anxiety became pretty big there, as it was stated by one of the captains, leaders of the team. So Coach Saban talking about, hey, this time around, we ain't dealing with that. This time around, we're trying to give anxiety or inflict pain on the opposition, not dealing with that ourselves. So, not necessarily sure 2022 what provided the overwhelming nerves for that year's team. But this time around, Coach Saban very keen on discipline, very keen on effort, very keen on the focus. It's going to be on us inflicting pain and not dealing with it ourselves. They've been very much so focused on the effort and the effort and the discipline this upcoming season for the Crimson Tide. No unnecessary penalties, no unnecessary mental errors that put you behind the 8 ball, they've been saying. So, although he tried to come at me in a funny way about the question I asked, he did answer the question the way I thought that he would, by saying, hey, the culture of this team, the mindset of this team, we got to be focused, play by play, moment by moment, because you never know what could happen in a football game. You never know what curveballs the football game can throw you. So we got to be prepared game by game, play by play, moment by moment. We got to be focused on what we're trying to do out here on this field as a football team. And we got to do this all sort of being together, not necessarily being result-oriented, but being able to play the next play and the process that each play sort of takes you through. So looking forward to first day of practice, that being tomorrow. Nick Saban's first press conference, that being tomorrow. What will he say after the first day out there? What sort of gems will he provide after the first day out there? It'll be fun to look at. But we take our first break on the show, folks. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting you started here. When we get back, we go on the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. We get to you, the Bama fans, after this.
Nine players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
We're back into the action here, folks, from the break on the hottest show on the streets here on a Wednesday. Hump Day, in my own word, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Continue, people, tapping the like button, hitting that thumbs up right there, showing the love, hitting that subscribe button as well. Make this your spot for all things Bama football. Daily Super Chat go $100 daily. Super Chat go $100 right there. How about the man, Keith Jones, with that $10 donation? Putting the love right there. Appreciate that from the man, Keith Jones, helping us out right here. People in the chat line, I was not causing trouble at Nick's Kids today. I was not doing that. I was just trying to get Coach Saban to answer my question, which he did. And he answered in full. He did. So I was happy that Coach Saban here answered my question. But we're going to go to our quick word here, give a shout out here to our sponsors, that being Caldera Lab. Caldera Lab here, our sponsor for today. And we can talk about Caldera Lab. We look at Caldera Lab is the leader in men's skincare and here to save the day and your confidence. Caldera Lab creates high-performance men's skincare products, and the regimen is your twice-a-day formula to transform your skin. And the best part? It's super easy. Literally takes less than 30 seconds in the morning and 30 seconds at night. So what does Caldera products offer? Let me just tell you. First off, they give you the clean slate that starts and ends your day. This face wash leaves all skin types refreshed. Then you apply the base layer right after to moisturize and hydrate your skin. Even better, it absorbs fast, leaving you with a matte finish to start your day confidently. And then the good is your go-to at-night face serum to round it out. This clinically proven multifunctional serum that helps your skin look tighter and smoother, as well as helps reduce the visibility of wrinkles and fine lines on the skin. So you get 20% off with our code TDA at CalderaLab.com. That's 20% off at CalderaLab.com by using our promo code TDA. Jump into skincare and first impression royalty with Caldera Lab. Check them out. Eli, I've been using it, man. It's been helping my skin. I got the clean slate. I got the good. I got all of it right here. Helping my skin right now. Also helping some members of my family's skin right now. So Caldera Lab. Appreciate you guys. We're going to go to the phone lines. Grabbing your calls here, 205-448-1358. Number to call in to let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang as we're gonna take a call right now, right here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from. You're live on the show, caller. Say it again, man. You're live on the show.
James from DC. Am I on there?
Doing okay. What's on your mind, man? What's on your mind, James?
Oh, I'm just calling to let everybody know we back in with the season, getting locked in. The SEC Network, they helping us out by keep showing the Tennessee and the LSU game. I always watch our losses right before the new season start up. And so they making it real easy for me to get hyped and become a better fan. Even watch the replay of our game, our chat parties during the game. The fans got to do what we expect the players to do. I love this show.
Absolutely.
And thank you for letting me call him back in and getting this season started. Feeling great.
Absolutely.
Y'all have a great evening.
Absolutely. James from D.C. calling in, giving us his thoughts here to start Wednesday's show. We grabbed this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from. You're live on the show, caller. You are live. Well, I guess we lost that guy right there, unfortunately. But 205-448-1358, the number to call in to let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. I don't bite people. I do not bite people. Eli, do I bite people? I do not bite people, folks. So don't be afraid to call me. Don't be afraid to do that. Definitely do not bite people here. But as you guys are continuing to get your thoughts to call in here, we got to go to a cool call topic, that being one. Will the Terminator Anderson here, reminding us that we are 31 days away from Alabama football kicking off its home opener, season opener, Saturday, September 2nd. Middle Tennessee State inside Bryant-Denny Stadium. Will Anderson, a decorative defensive player, ended his career second to only Derek Thomas for career sacks, 34.5, and tackles for loss with 62. Will Anderson, a two-time Bronco Nagurski Award winner, two-time SEC Defensive Player of the Year, two-time unanimous first-team All-American, just did everything. Two-time team captain. Like I said, the brother did everything that was required of him, on the field. But We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Sports cards.
Hey, Jay, what's happening?
I was wondering, who you think of the quarterbacks has the highest ceiling?
Which quarterback has the highest ceiling here? Has the highest ceiling? The highest ceiling, I would go Simpson, just due to what he can do passing the football with the arm talent he presents. I still think you could definitely win a national championship with Jalen Milroe. Tyler Buckner, I watched a lot of his high school tape. He looked pretty good there out of California. Did some things at Notre Dame. Going to be interesting to see, can he really shock the world in fall camp? But I think the highest ceiling of the highest ceiling of the three, I would look at Ty Simpson. But of all the quarterbacks in the room, keep your eye on Dylan Larnigan. Really like what that young man did in spring ball.
Thank you.
Appreciate Jay's sports card there. Calling into the show. I mean, absolutely. I mean, of the three guys that are in the heat of the battle, Milroe, Simpson, Buckner, highest ceiling. I would go Simpson, though Milroe, I can definitely still see him absolutely having a shot at, getting this team to a national championship. But definitely of all five quarterbacks, definitely keep your eyes there on the Dylan Larnigan kid from Brookwood, Georgia. But we take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? We take this call. You're live on the show. You're live on the show, caller. We take this call. You're live on the show.
Hello?
Can you turn the speaker down just a little bit, but you're live. You're live. You're here. Can you turn the speaker down just a little bit, but you're live.
Yes. You hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yes.
You're live. You're here. Can you turn the speaker down just a little bit, but you're live.
Yes. You hear me, Steven? You hear me?
I can hear you. Just we're going to get those technical issues fixed out there on his end. I know he wanted to call and have a question. We're going to definitely get those issues fixed out here on his end. Definitely call back if you can, because we want to hear your thoughts on the show. But 205-448-1358, but I'm going to call in 205-448-1358. But Will Anderson reminding us that we are 31 days away to Alabama football. National champion in 2020, two-time SEC champion 2020 and 2021. Did a lot of great things where this program is concerned. But number 3 overall pick in this recent NFL draft by the Houston Texans. And he's right now dominating fall camp. Not fall camp, but training camp for the Texans. But we're going to go to a break right here, folks, on the show. Don't touch that down. When we get back, we got our 2 incredible guests coming on. We'll start with my man Alex Barth covering those Patriots and Mac Jones. And then we got my man Justin Smith of TDA talking some Bama recruiting. You'll hear from them both after this.
What's up, Bama Nation? This is Rudy Griffin, former Alabama defensive lineman, and you're listening to my guy, Stephen M. Smith, in my own words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide, roll!
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, we're back into the action here from the break. Number 1 ticket here for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to have you guys checking us out here on the show. Continue to hit that like button. Tap that like button. Give us a thumbs up right there on the show. Hit that subscribe button as well. Make for sure show your network platform channel to talk all things Bama football. That daily Super Chat Go, $100 daily. Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We also have a message board. So Touchdown Alabama Magazine, the message board. If you're trying to be a part of that first group or wave of fans to help us regrow, rebuild the message board, you can check out the link to the message board. Can be found in the chat line and in the description. So check out the message board, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Be a part of that, helping us grow that thing right there. But as we're getting ready to get with Alex Barth and Justin Smith here in moments, so much to be excited about when you discuss fall camp. I mean, everybody will talk about the quarterback competition till the cows come home. But there's so much more to be looked at. The offensive line is to be looked at. The defensive line is to be looked at. Running backs to be looked at. Wide receivers. Does Alabama get a number one receiver stepping up in this room to look at? Tight ends. Defensive players. More than just the guy slinging the pigskin. Although the guy slinging the pigskin is the most recognizable face at times on the field. Gotta show some love to Dale B with that $20 donation. Dropping the love there in the bucket, Dale B. Helping us out here on the show. But right now, we have one of our guys in the call-in queue right now. We go to the In My Own Words hotline. We pick up a bona fide superstar. He covers the New England Patriots for 98.5 The Sports Hub. Patriots in training camp. I'm here at Mac Jones. He's doing his thing. We bring in my guy, Alex Barth, to the show. Alex, what's happening, man? Glad to have you back.
Steven, long time no talk. How you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Doing fantastic, Alex. If you're just checking out the show here on a Wednesday, we're joined now live, Alex Barth, Patriots beat reporter, 98.5 The Sports Hub out of Boston. The Patriots in training camp. I think they got through day 7 or day 8 of camp. But a lot of good stuff flying around here, Alex, about Mac Jones. I was hearing from a lot of Patriots reporters today, including yourself. This was Mac's best day of camp. He's out there slinging the pigskin, hitting guys in stride, being accurate, throwing touchdown passes. Seems like he and Bill O'Brien got some cooking here in the latter days here of camp as camp continues. But in your opinion, what kind of made today the best day of camp, for Mac and hooking up with all of these names like Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki, Juju Smith-Schuster, and so on?
Yeah, I think kind of what you just said there, him and Bill O'Brien, they're obviously installing essentially a brand new offense, right? What they were doing last year wasn't working, and that's process. That's process. It might take some time, and I think you're starting to see everybody, Mac, the receivers, get on the same page, and the chemistry's building up, and it's a much more seamless operation now than it was even a week ago when they begun camp. I also think you're starting to see Mac buck some of the bad habits, the bad trends he picked up last year. He looks more confident in the pocket. He looks more confident throwing into tight windows, throwing the ball down the field a little bit. So it's progress. It's as simple as that. It's the kind of progress you're looking to see in training camp.
So, Alex, when you look at just O'Brien and Mac Jones together, how has O'Brien been able to not just uplift the confidence of Mac, but the receivers as well? A lot of the national people are not giving New England much credibility for the receiver room that they have. But what has O'Brien done to not just get Mac's energy up as Max looked rejuvenated in camp, but also the energy of the wide receiver room and getting those guys pumped up? Kayshon Boutte also that mix as well. What has O'Brien done to get the receivers' energy up?
Yeah, Kayshon Boutte had a big day today. First big day for him. I think it's a fun offense to play in. It's creative. It's a little unique. It's designed with the wide receivers in mind. It's designed to kind of make their lives easier. So I think it's a player-friendly offense, if that makes sense, and that certainly helps. I think the other thing is there's a level of it's not what it was last year. Kendrick Bourne, who's one of their top wide receivers, spoke to us the other day and said that he's having fun this year, and that wasn't always the case last year. So I think O'Brien's system's a big part of that.
So before I get to the last thought here, Alex, let's get inside the trash. And Coach Saban would go back and forth talking smack to each other. But seeing this now in the NFL, you're seeing a lot of Mac's teammates talk about he's one of the best trash talkers on this team. What kind of goes into that psyche, understanding that you got a guy that, constant professional, wants to be that, wants to put his team in the best chances to win, but also not afraid to talk some smack to a lot of people in the room also.
I think some of it is he wants to keep it loose. He wants to keep it loose. He wants it to be a fun environment for everybody. And players are kind of talking about that today. You get into the dog days of camp, you need somebody out there making sure that it doesn't become a grind. And as much as it's the trash talking, you'll see now, like Mac threw a touchdown pass to Juju Smith-Schuster today. He runs to the end zone. Kendrick Bourne joins it with Juju, and they just broke out in a dance. And Mac said they came up with it on the spot. And that's what they've been doing. Like, every single touchdown, it's not just the receivers. Mac Jones is hyping up the crowd or hitting the gritty or doing something. And I think that's just his leadership style. I think he's trying to lead by example, and it's kind of a work hard, play hard mentality. He's going to be first one on the field most of these days for practice, last one off the field, but he's going to have fun when the time calls for it and make sure that this doesn't become a grind.
If you're just checking out the show here on a Wednesday, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith, I'm joined by the man Alex Barth covering the Patriots for 98.5 The Sports. How about a Boston Mac Jones? A huge day of training camp for New England. Talking about that right now. So, Alex, as you look at this upcoming season, there's some pressure here on Bill Belichick. Can he still get it done? Can he still coach this Patriots team to the playoffs and making runs in the playoffs, especially with the AFC being much tougher with the amount of quarterbacks and coaches in that conference? When you look at Mac, can he get this group back to the playoffs in the AFC picture, despite the fact that you're battling Aaron Rodgers, you're battling Pat Mahomes, you're battling Justin Herbert, you're battling Tua, you're battling Lamar Jackson, all of these guys you're battling in this conference? Can Mac get this Patriots team back to the postseason like he did, or like he was able to do his rookie year with Josh McDaniels?
I think he can. There's some things that are going to have to go his way. As much as the wide receiver position has been maligned here, I think the group's fine. I don't think they're great, but they're better than they were last year. The tackle position is going to be a major issue for this team. They are seriously searching for how they're going to find 34 games between the two tackle spots. So that's got to hold up. You need wide receivers to stay healthy. Again, I think it's a fine group, but there's not a lot of depth. And Devontae Parker's a guy that's been hurt. Tyquan Thornton's a guy that's been hurt. They're going to need to cut down on the turnovers and the penalties, and that's hopefully something O'Brien helps with. So if they can kind of get back in that rhythm they were in 2021, his rookie year, yeah, I think that they can contend for wild card spot, but they do still have some big what ifs, even independent of Mac Jones, that they're going to need to go their way.
Folks, he is Alex Barth covering the New England Patriots, 98.5 The Sports. How about a Boston graciously join us here on In My Own Words on a Wednesday to talk Mac Jones, his big day of training camp for New England. Hopefully he can keep this vibe going here as he looks to have New England back in the playoffs this upcoming season. But Alex, as always, man, I appreciate you, my man. Take care of yourself. Be good, brother.
Thanks for having me. And let me just say, Christian Barmore, dominant day today, too. Don't want to leave him out.
Absolutely. Christian Barmore having a great day. Appreciate Alex Barth there sharing us that information. Barmore, who recently became a dad. Barmore recently becoming a dad there, so he's getting back into training camp and having some fun. But that's Alex Barth right there covering the New England Patriots, 98.5, the Sports Hub. We go from one superstar in the building to another, and this guy right here covers our recruiting. He's the director of scouting and recruiting for Touchdown Alabama magazine, the guy that does this better than nobody else. I was just speaking to him literally 2 hours ago. Justin Smith. Justin, how we feeling, man?
Feeling good, Steve.
Always good to have Justin here on the show. So, Justin, let's get down into it. The news that happened this week, Perry Thompson, the the four-star receiver in the 2024 class by the way of Foley High School, South Alabama, the same program that produced the likes of Julio Jones, decided to flip from Alabama to Auburn, and he mentioned, hey, Nick Saban, good coach, but he's more so known for DBs. Hugh Freeze is more so known for wide receivers, and the young man took some serious heat for that comment right there, but he goes to a school that he wants to go to, and best wishes for him. But a lot of Alabama fans were kind of concerned about, is this a huge loss not having Perry Thompson to the Crimson Tide at this time? Justin, do you see this as a huge loss? I mean, how do you look at this?
I mean, Perry has a lot of great potential. Many people have compared him to Julio Jones, not in terms of him being the next Julio Jones, but just in terms of his size. Both went to Foley High School, of course. He's a physical wide receiver, plays on both sides of the football for Foley right now. He's a freak of an athlete at 6'4", so he's going to do great things at Auburn just based on his potential. He has an opportunity to be a great receiver for the Tigers. I don't think him flipping his commitment from Auburn, flipping his commitment to Alabama from Auburn, flipping his commitment to Auburn from Alabama changes it. I think he's still a tremendous talent. Nothing takes away from that. But in terms of Alabama's 2024 recruiting class, you can say it is a bit of a hit, but they are going to continue to recruit on wide receivers. Wide receivers to position like a lot of other positions. There are a lot of good wide receivers that you can continue to recruit guys you possibly could flip. Where they are in the mix for Amari Jefferson right now, 4-star wide receiver out of Tennessee, who's down to Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee. The Crimson Tide looks to be in a really good position with him. He's a wide receiver who they just seem to have gone all in for in this 2024 recruiting class. It's going back to the time that they offered him. So, yeah, losing Perry Thompson is a hit because of how talented he is. And, of course, you lose him to the in-state rival Auburn Tigers. And Auburn just went all in on Perry. I think something that I've always said about his recruitment is that Alabama offered him. He committed 4 days later. They were I think, if I'm not mistaken, they were the first SEC program to offer him. I'm not sure they're the first Power 5, but I think they were around the first Power 5 school to offer him too. So he didn't really have a recruitment before he committed to Alabama. So Auburn offered him and gave him that full recruiting process. I think that had something to do with his decision. I know he is getting a lot of talk surrounding his name because of his comments, but I think a lot of people have to continue to remember that these are young kids. I know that in today's world, you really have to be mindful of what you're saying, but a guy like Perry, being at Foley High School, being at the high school level, those guys are not on media trained at the moment, of course. In today's world, when you're a 5-star wide receiver, anything that you said can be taken and blown out of proportion. But like I said, I think he is a tremendous talent, has an opportunity to do some great things at the next level. Alabama's going to keep trucking on, continue to try to find great wide receivers. That 2025 group for Alabama looks tremendous with guys like Ryan Williams and Jamie French. A lot of great talent in the 2025 class. Alabama does have a commitment from Rico Scott. I like the explosiveness that he brings to the table. If they can add a guy like Amari Jefferson, that would be another great duo, and I'm pretty sure they could possibly add another guy at that position as well.
You're just checking out the show here on a Wednesday. We're now joined by my man Justin Smith, the director of scouting and recruiting for Touchdown Alabama magazine. And I'll say this, Justin, I know you and I spoke about this earlier today. And we talked about how this 2024 class, it can be a top 3 class, it can be a top 5 class, but it may be a stretch. It may be a real challenge and a real push for this group to be the number 1 class. In your opinion, and you look at this with a bigger microscope than I do, but when you look at this, Justin, what would cause this class not to be number 1, in your opinion, with all the pushing that's going on?
Well, I think the biggest thing is in terms of if you follow close to rankings, of course, multiple different recruiting sites and recruiting outlets have different rankings and everything, but it all depends on the second half of Alabama's 2024 recruiting class. When you take a look at Alabama's class now, in the first half is complete, and you have a talented foundation, a solid class. You can look at having guys like Julian Sand, Jalen Mbakwe, 5-star prospects at the base of this class. So it really all depends on what the second half of this class looks like in terms of rankings and everything. So that will determine, as far as if you follow recruiting rankings, where Alabama will land exactly. I do think they'll easily have a top 5 recruiting class, that's kind of where Alabama will be at all times. But in terms of that number 1 recruiting class, I think they're going to definitely need some more firepower to lock up that spot again. It's not insane to think that Alabama could have not really a down recruiting class. It's still going to be a great recruiting class that compared to that 2023 class, which was tremendous, out of this world, one of the best recruiting classes in history. It's not crazy to think that Alabama could have a little bit of a down step from right after that class.
We got Justin Smith right here talking Alabama recruiting. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. So, Justin, for me, I've got a chance to talk to quite a few Alabama fans about this, and a lot of them are kind of, concerned about the Tide not necessarily getting the number 1 guys at various positions anymore. When you look at, Alabama hasn't gotten the number 1 receiver in state since Julio Jones, as far as that statistic right there. You look at a lot of Alabama fans, they see Bama hasn't gotten the number 1 defensive lineman, haven't gotten the number 1 this position, haven't gotten the number 1 that position. The number 1 guys used to come here. Now they're going to other areas of college football. So what's made it tougher, I guess, for Coach Saban and this staff to get these number 1 guys, and not just in other states, but also just within the state of Alabama itself? Is it because the competition's gotten better? What's made it more of a challenge, in your opinion, for Saban and the Tide to get these number 1 guys at their various positions?
In my opinion, I think that is more so fans being prisoners of the moment. Alabama still is getting number one guys at positions. Julian Sand probably going to be the number 1 quarterback. They have a commitment from him. Jalen Backway could be the number 1 athlete. If it just continues out, the 2024 class continues to move forward. He's special. If he's not the number 1 athlete, he can at least take the claim because of how talented he is. Last year, Alabama got the number 1 running back. You got the number 1 outside linebacker in Keon Keeley. You got the number 1 safety and Caleb Downs. So Alabama's getting, if terms of fans want to get the number 1 guy at positions, Alabama is getting that. You can't make an argument that they have lost wide receivers inside the state in the past. Most in particular, people bring up the Central Phoenix City guys. They can take a look at guys like Justin Ross, maybe this guy who's coming out now, Cameron Coleman. You can say that, but Alabama's still recruiting at a high level. Of course, you're going to miss on some guys. It's just the nature of the game. But Alabama is, in my opinion, is still recruiting at a really high level, and they're still in a good position to have a lot of talent in the future. I don't think it should be a worry at this point in time. Just taking a look at the way Alabama's 2024 class is going, I think people are panicking because, like I said, it may not be the number 1 recruiting class that Alabama fans are used to, but it still will be a really good class. And not saying that it's not crazy to think that it could be the number 1 class, but that the second half of it will determine, in terms of rankings, how you look at it. But that 2025 class is an opportunity to be really special, and I think it's going to be spearheaded by the amount of crazy talent that is located inside the state. So I think Alabama is still in a good position with a lot of guys. If you want to look at rankings, it's at the number 1 guy at a lot of different positions. They are in a good position with those guys in multiple recruiting classes. Already have a commitment from the number 1 2025 wide receiver as well.
He's Justin Smith, people, the director of scouting and recruiting for Touchdown Alabama magazine, coming on here to talk about this 2024 class and recruiting galore for your Crimson Tide. Justin, as always, man, we appreciate you. Continue to do your thing, man. I know coming up, you got some places to travel. You got some athletes to see. You got some games to cover. I know the footage is going to be A1, and I'm not talking steak sauce, but A1. Justin, man, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Justin Smith joined us right here on the show. Eli, you know what? Even though I cover the current Alabama football team, I cover just the guys on the roster for University of Alabama, I got to get out with you, Justin, and John, some of these high school games, man. I mean, I got to get out there. They say high school football is still the purest form of ball. I got to get back out here to see what you guys do and put these magical videos together. Anyway, we're going to go to a break right here, folks. We'll touch that down when we get back. Return to your phone calls, your thoughts, your conversations. Light us up. We get to you after this.
Every sports sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, we're back into the action from the break on a Wednesday, hump day, number one form for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Continue tapping the like button. Give us that thumbs up right there. Hit that like button for us. Appreciate that support there. Hitting the subscribe button as well. Making this your show, your network, your channel, space, avenue, platform for all things Bama football. Check out the message board. We got the message board for those of you trying to help us rebuild or regrow the message board. TouchdownAlabama.com, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. The link to the message board can be found in the chat line and in the description. Check that out right there. Daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100. Appreciate all of you guys. We're in the call topic right here, or the call segment right here, 205-448-1358, the number to call in to let your voice be made known. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you. As you're getting your thoughts in here, Eli, we go to Bama and the NFL. If you want any reason as to why Alabama football is NFLU, look no further than the NFL's top 100 players of 2023 list. This list is voted on by the players. Game recognized game. So the players are voting on who they think are the real deal here. Bama's got 10 names on this list, and there's still more to go. They got to go numbers 20 to 1 pretty soon. But Bama's got 10 names on this list. When you look at Devontae Smith's on there at number 100. Morgan Humphrey's on there at 92. Tua Tagovailoa's on there at 82. Trayvon Diggs on there at 60. Jonathan Allen's on there at 52. 49 is Patrick Surtain II. 46 is C.J. Mosley. 44 is Jalen Waddle. 40 is Quinnen Williams. And at 25, the latest name to make name number 10, Derek King Henry. So, 10 names. Bama's got 10 guys on the NFL's top 100. So, a 10th at this point. A 10th. Probably even slightly more than a 10th. But a 10th at this point. Bama guys on the NFL's top 100. And folks, you still got Minkah Fitzpatrick left. You still got Jalen Hurts left. You still got a shot to maybe get Daron Payne on there. I'm just saying. Maybe Amari Cooper could squeeze his way. Maybe Coop could squeeze in there. I may have to write NFL films. Can y'all let Coop please squeeze his way in there? I don't know if they're going to do it, though. But you want any indication? Nick Saban, Bama football, dominating the landscape. Just look no further than, NFL top 100. Josh Jacobs can get in here. I mean, he only was the NFL's rushing champion just this past season. And there's news that the Las Vegas Raiders are starting to restart up talks with Josh about signing him to a contract. Vegas, do the right thing. Don't y'all let this man just walk up out of here like y'all had him get on the plane. If y'all gonna restart this thing, get this man to a contract. We're gonna take our final break right here, folks. When we get back, we wrap things up with a fun discussion. What would quantify as success for Alabama's offense, in your opinion? What would you deem successful for Alabama's offense, in your opinion? We'll wrap up with that after this.
I'm Alex Barth. You're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
And we are back into the action from the break. Appreciate all of you for all the super chats, calls, YouTube chatting, doing what you do to make this your show, your network, platform, channel, space for all things Bama football. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith, got the man Eli Walker in the production studio. Ian, I got an update here on Bryce Young. He went 6 for 7 today in camp for the Panthers. 11 on 11, looked good. The one incompletion for Bryce, the ball bounced off a receiver's shoulder pad. Gotta catch the ball! In other news on Bryce Young, did you know that Bryce was a DoorDash driver his freshman year at Bama? You tell me I could have been getting some free meals being dropped up at my house by Bryce Young? Now, of course, I would have had to pay for those meals. They would not have been free. Of course, I don't get NIL. Pity. Tears. But Bryce Young dropping meals off of my doorstep? Hey now. That could have been something. You know what? That's in the past now. Cannot dwell on that. Cannot dwell on that. We wrap things up, folks, with this right here, Eli. And for Alabama's offense, we did this for Alabama's defense. What would quantify as success for Alabama's defense? We did that, so now we flip to the offense. And I understand that it is hard to put everything to a beat of numbers, data, analytics, because numbers don't tell the whole story. They just don't. Even though we live in a society that's predicated on numbers, data, and analytics. Like I said with the defense, for US Bama fans, y'all just want to see a competitive defense, guys shooting through gaps, guys making tackles, guys creating turnovers, guys knocking people's heads off, making plays, playing disciplined football. That's what you want to see. But I did break down some numerical things that would quantify success for Alabama's defense. So look at the offense. Brand new offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, over from Notre Dame. You got 3 quarterbacks in the heat of this competition, Jalen Milroe, Ty Simpson, Tyler Buckner. You have an offensive line that's been working their tails off all summer long to be aggressive, be gritty, be physical. You got a wide receiver unit that's immensely talented, but you got to be able to catch the football consistently. Got a good tight end room. Got a stable of running backs. So, for me, this would quantify success here for me for Alabama's offense. Number one, without Bryce Young, if Alabama can average between 35 and 38 points a game, I think that's success. I mean, I think that, would you say that, Eli? I think that's success. Without Bryce Young, who is giving you 40-plus points a game, and you're going to take some type of a step back without Bryce Young. In some areas, you're going to get better. But in some areas, you may have to improvise a little bit because you may take a step back. So I feel like if you can average 35 or 38 points a game, I would quantify that as success. That's number one. That's number one. The number two thing that I would quantify as success for Alabama this season offensively is if the Tide can control the game but still be able to score points. That's success to me. If Alabama can control the game, that being keep the other team's offense on the sideline, keep your defense refreshed on the sideline, and at the same time, still put points on the board. I'm saying if you're engineering 10, 11, 12 play drives, but those drives are ending in touchdowns, that quantifies as success to me. Why? You're putting touchdowns on the scoreboard, you're wearing down the opposing team's defense, your offense, especially your offensive line, is dripping in confidence because they're imposing their will, and you're keeping your defense refreshed there. So if the offense can control the pace of the game and score points, I think that quantifies success there for Alabama's offense. And then number three, this to me will quantify success. If Alabama can get a 1,000-yard rusher and a 1,000-yard receiver this year, if it can get that, that would quantify success for me. Now, I know for a lot of for some Bama fans, it's Steven, no, let's just get 2 1,000-yard rushers. You know, Justice Haynes, Richard Young, or Justice Haynes, Jace McClellan, boom, let's just get 2 1,000-yard rushers. That's cool. 2 1,000-yard rushers. As great as that sounds, and as much as I would love to go back in the time capsule to 2012 and get what Eddie Lacy and TJ Yeldon did, both 1,000-yard rushers, while at the same time you did have a 1,000-yard receiver and a freshman known as Amari Cooper. Well, I would love to have that back. And I'll be tickled pink to have that back. I look at this is what will quantify success for me. A 1,000-yard back and a 1,000-yard receiver. Over that 1,000-yard back is Jace McClellan. Over that 1,000-yard back is Justice Haynes. Over that 1,000-yard back is Sneakers O'Toole. I don't care who it is. Over that 1,000-yard receiver is Isaiah Bond, whether it's Malik Benson, whether it's Kobe Prentice, or the little engine that could. I don't care who it is. I'm just going to get a 1,000-yard back, 1,000-yard receiver. That would quantify success for me. So here it is offensively again. Alabama can get between 35 and 38 points a game. Find success right there. If Alabama can control the pace, the flow of the game, while still being able to end its drives with touchdowns, quantifying success right there. If at number three, you can get a 1,000-yard back and a 1,000-yard receiver, quantifying success right there. We'll see how it all boils down to and what Tommy Rees will do in terms of this offense. But as always, you want the best in news, information, coverage, entertainment on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from the Apple App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Here we go. Check us out. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. We'll be back on Friday. We'll actually be live Friday from Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. We'll be live Friday from Alumni Hall. You'll be able to see me live, talk with me live, interact with me live. We're going to be live. T-Town, Alumni Hall. Appreciate you guys. If you're trying to get the fresh edition, print edition of TDA, the magazine, here's what you do. You go to touchdownalabama.com. You click join, become a member and or a subscriber today. That link found in the description. Gotta show some love to you, the Bama fans, for all the calls today. Donations today, chatting today, conversations today. You making this your spot to talk all things Bama football. And you guys even having fun with me today and saying how I caused trouble with the Knicks kids a bit. No, I did not. Just asking Coach Saban my question. But he answered. He did. He answered that. Gotta show some love to my man Eli Walker in the production studio holding things down. Until next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored there and getting that schoolwork done. School for quite a lot of you back in session now. Get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. Protect yourself. Protect the loved ones around you. Until next time, folks, your man Stephen Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.